Welcome to the Good Girls Get Rich podcast. This is where we embrace how good you are, girl. Stop being the best kept secret in town. Learn how to use simple LinkedIn and social media strategies and make the big bucks.
It's Karen Yankovich, and I am here for this Good Girls Get Rich podcast recap. And this week on the podcast, we had a topic that I am asked to do a ton. So I hope that this episode is really valuable to you, and hopefully the recap will inspire you to want to listen to the whole episode because there's a ton of good stuff on it. I think I start this episode out by saying, grab a pen and a piece of paper because this one is a training episode. So you're totally going to want to check this out. And we're talking this week about how to use LinkedIn to get coaching clients. You know, one of the questions and one of the laments I hear so much from so many of my coach friends and coach clients is, where do I get more discovery calls? How do I get more one-on-one calls? How do I get more calls? Because obviously without discovery calls or fit calls or whatever you call them, one of the questions I get a lot is, how do I get more calls? And my answer is always LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn. You can get as many of those fit call, discovery calls, strategy calls, whatever you want to call them, as you want to get every single week consistently with a very simple LinkedIn process. And I go through that process step by simple step in this week's podcast episode. So we talk a little bit about your profile and the things you want to have in your profile. We talk about building your network, right? Like, you know, thinking about all of the discovery calls you've had that were not a good fit, right? That is going to continue to happen. There's no way we can 100% target the people that we want to reach. You're going to have some calls that you don't close if they're not a good fit for your business, right? That's just going to happen. But when we use LinkedIn, we can minimize that. Right? We can minimize it by being very strategic about who we're connecting with in the first place. Okay, that can really help us narrowly target the people that we ultimately get on the phone with to people that could be really valuable to us. Right? I mean, who doesn't need more phone calls and more leads in their business? So, you know, we talk a little bit about how to use LinkedIn to get some PR and how that PR can get you more coaching clients. There's so many resources in this episode. So I'll put a link below as well so that you can check out the full episode. You're definitely going to want to listen to this one probably more than once, because you're going to hear things the second and the third time you listen to this that you didn't hear before. If you are looking to, if you run your business on getting on the phone with people, if talking to people grows your business, and talking to really specifically targeted people, then you can't miss this episode. Because if you get one tiny little piece of it, right, that gets you one client, you're golden. So this one's for you if you are looking, maybe you're not a coach, like I'm not a coach, but a lot of people call me their coach, but I still run my business based on phone calls that lead to potentially putting people in one of my programs. So even though this episode is focused on coaches, and coaches, you totally aren't going to want to miss this. It really is for anyone that runs their business based on speaking to people to get them into your programs and your products and services. So check it out, KarenYankovich.com/069, how to use LinkedIn to get more people in your coaching business. This is a good one, and I've got some great episodes coming up. I'm so excited to share them with you. So lots more coming. Also, let me know in the comments below if there's a topic that we haven't covered in the podcast that you want to see me cover. Okay, so let me know, because we're mapping out our podcast and I want to make sure that I'm covering the things you want to hear about. So let me know in the comments below.